Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We are here. 10 secrets of the Annunaki. Let's just, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I get a lot of messages about the Annunaki. Can I talk about the Annunaki, Nibiru, Planet X? And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So let me share with you what I know about the Annunaki. Why this matters. Is it even important? Yes, because it really helped me wake up to realize there is so much on the planet that we don't know about. Throughout the ages, the ruling elite has known that man is not alone in the universe. There is archaeological evidence that shows long ago man was visited by extraterrestrials, which became mythologized as gods. Slow motion this side. In many ancient civilizations, in ancient Egypt, in Sumeria, there are many texts which speak of beings coming down from the heavens who are far more advanced than human beings. So let's find out, what does Anunnaki mean? It means those who came down from the heavens, princely blood. So if you look in many ancient texts, even the Bible in Genesis, it says God made man in his image and his likeness. But if you go back to Sumeria, there is a text even older than the Bible called the Enuma Elish. The Enuma Elish. And it says gods, Elohim, plural, that there were many gods. And in a place called Nineveh in Sumeria, over 22,000 clay tablets were found talking about the Anunnaki. Zachariah Sitchin, he had a great works called the Earth Chronicles, published in 1976, and he really talks a lot about the Anunnaki. You go anywhere on planet Earth, you will find evidence that shows, how the hell did that get here? In South Africa, you have Adam's calendar, this massive megalithic structure. You got Stonehenge in the UK, but Adam's calendar could be as old as 75,000 years. 75,000 years old, right? So let's dive into it. 10 secrets of the Anunnaki. The first secret is that Earth has visitors. We are not alone in the universe. And you find this in the Sumerian texts. It talks about how the Anunnaki came from a planet called Nibiru, or Planet X. And what happened when they came? They came down to planet Earth, and at that time, they just found prehistoric man. Not evolved, not doing much. Civilization wasn't the way it is now. So they came from the heavens and they landed on planet Earth. Is it really that hard to believe? Look at it like this. We have a universe which is so massive. Let me simplify it for you. So we are in the Milky Way galaxy, and in our galaxy there are over 300 billion stars. Now let's just say 10% of those stars have planets. That means there are over 30 billion planets in our Milky Way galaxy. Now check this out. There are over 100 billion galaxies in the universe. Slow motion this side. So life is everywhere. In fact, NASA have even found a planet that looks a bit like Earth called Kepler 186f. So the first secret is that we aren't alone in the universe, and many people high up know this, that Earth has had visitors, and you can see it from all of the massive stone structures around the planet, the pyramids, Stonehenge, Adam's calendar. Who built these massive, enormous monuments? How did they do it? Well, it goes on to the second secret of the Anunnaki, which is, why did they come here in the first place? Why? What was their need to come here? The gold rush. The Anunnaki needed gold for their planet because gold reflects infrared. Gold also protects against radiation, and gold could help them with their atmosphere in Nibiru. What happened? When they came to planet Earth, there was lots of gold. And they were like, yeah, lots of gold. And they started to mine the gold. And they were mining the gold and mining the gold. But over time, they got tired because it's a lot of work. So they were like, I don't want to be the only one doing it. But they saw prehistoric man. And it's like, hey, we could use prehistoric man and get him to do it and her to do it. Okay, so planet Earth is full of resources, and the Anunnaki saw how much gold there was and came here and started to mine the gold. Now, Sitchin says that the Anunnaki really came to planet Earth about 450,000 years ago. That's a long time. Who was the boss of the Anunnaki? Who was the god of Nibiru? Lord Anu. And many Anunnaki came to planet Earth. Enki, Enlil, many of them came. They came for the gold, to mine the gold. Earth has precious resources. What is the third secret of the Anunnaki? Now, look at it like this. The Anunnaki had to adapt. Their body wasn't suited to planet Earth. So they saw prehistoric man and they started to create genetic experiments to get the prehistoric man to mine the gold. So basically there was a lot of grafting going on. They took the DNA from the prehistoric man, mixed it with their own, and they created the first human, Homo sapiens sapien. Now, if you go to the Hebrew, Adam means man. In the Sumerian texts, Adamu means the first man. So when you realize that Earth has been experimented with, and the human being right now is not the human being that once existed. We have almost been created by extraterrestrials. Now that sounds bonkers. And for me, I always say you got to use discernment. You got to really take everything with a pinch of salt, but it always makes me think, when you're a child, you're asking these questions, right? Like, where did we come from? Why is the world the way it is? Why are so many countries going to war? Where did all of these languages come from? And it only really starts to make sense when you realize that there is so much that has happened on this planet that we know nothing about, because many of us, we have amnesia. We have forgotten our true power. So there was a lot of genetic experiments, and it goes on to the fourth secret of the Anunnaki, and that is the slave species. The Anunnaki created a slave species on planet Earth to help mine the gold. And there is talk of that in the Sumerian texts. What happened was they couldn't stay on planet Earth for too long. And some of them stayed, but some of them went back to Nibiru. And the human beings were now mining the gold. And it's amazing, because even if you look where we are right now on planet Earth, many of us are still a slave species. It's like we're working and working and working. Where did this all come from? Because once upon a time, we were just chilling, right? And all of a sudden, everybody's in a hurry to get somewhere fast. No, to get nowhere fast. You're not going anywhere. So I started to realize, gosh, there could be something to this story. Now, do I believe the whole Anunnaki story? No. Do I believe some of it? Absolutely yes. Because there are so many things happening on planet Earth, which I'm like, question mark, how is that possible? So the Anunnaki created a slave species to help mine the gold. What's the fifth secret of the Anunnaki? Now, in many ancient texts, Sumerian texts, the Enuma Elish, right? The Enuma Elish, it spoke about how the gods who first came down to planet Earth from Nibiru, Planet X, what happened? They saw the women here on planet Earth and they interbred with them. And they actually also, once again, created the Adamu. They created the Adamu, the first man. So what you're seeing is that a lot of us may even have alien DNA. We might even be part Anunnaki. Oh my gosh, don't worry about it. The cat down the road says, don't worry about it, right? So they saw how beautiful the women were and interbred with the women and created the modern human. This is fascinating because it really goes on to the sixth secret of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, the Sumerians, were the first people on planet Earth to create cities as we know it, with city grids. And have you ever wondered where we got all of this technology from all of a sudden? Because there's a massive jump. Like, we go from prehistoric man, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, right, to this human being which is creating skyscrapers. Like, where did we get all of this technology from? The mathematics. What happened? And I saw the film Prometheus, and it's like, wow, pretty interesting, because from the Sumerian texts, the aliens, the Anunnaki, came to planet Earth and basically civilized your us. They gave you mathematics, they gave you language, they gave you technology. They helped you to advance. So sometimes I often think to myself, wow, makes sense, because we have like just jumped. Where did all of this technology come from? Where did even the internet come from? Nobody knows. What is the seventh secret of the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki were the first beings who were mythologized as gods. All of the gods, Amun-Ra, Isis, Horus, all of these gods from the pantheon of ancient civilizations, Hermes, are the beings from Nibiru, according to the Sumerian texts. So they were worshipped by human beings. They were praised and they were adored because, once again, they had superior powers to human beings. They can do things. They could do things. They had advanced memory. They had advanced strength, advanced intelligence, and therefore they were worshipped. But what happened was, when they had children with the women of men, their offspring became the rulers, the pharaohs of lands, the kings and the queens. They became the royalty. And that's why the royalty have a connection to the extraterrestrials. Some people think they're reptilians, like they can shapeshift and stuff, right? I'm gonna tell you why ultimately the power is you. And the Anunnaki know that the power is you. That's why they came to planet Earth in the first place. We'll come to that later. So the Anunnaki became the first beings worshipped as gods, and their offspring became the first rulers on planet Earth. What is the eighth secret the Anunnaki won't tell you? Dun dun dun. The Anunnaki created the first calendars, the zodiac, and they gave it to man. And therefore, it's what we call the creation of time. Before the Anunnaki came to planet Earth, there was no time. And if you go back to ancient texts such as the Enuma Elish, they talk about how once upon a time on planet Earth, everything was formless. Meaning there was no time, there was no structure. So as the Anunnaki created man-made time, it actually put human beings into an artificial matrix, one of control and mind control. Slow motion this side. Now remember, the Anunnaki needed the gold. So you need to create a whole structure which is built on time to get human beings to work and work and work to mine for the gold, and they can get it. Calendars. Time rules everything around us right now. You got to be here by this time, by that time. But when you are not in time, you are infinitely free. So what really helped me along my journey was to say, actually, it's really time to go back to the formless and lose time and be free. What is the ninth secret of the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki, even in the Bible and Sumerian texts, they talk of how giants once upon a time walked the earth. The Nephilim. These beings were so tall. They made human beings look tiny. These giants had technology which was so far ahead of its time. The humans didn't know how it worked. And these giants built pyramids. They built all of these massive monuments you see around the planet. And giants, their bones have been found all around the world. There is archaeological evidence. What is that? But many of these giants, they had an elongated skull, and you can even see that. You can see that with some of the pharaohs. Okay, their skull is a lot longer at the back. Could that be because they had a greater brain capacity? Question mark. The reason why I find the Anunnaki story fascinating, I don't believe all of it, but definitely some of it makes me raise my eyebrows, is because it really gets you thinking that there is so much we don't know about. The moment we're born, we are shoved in a conveyor belt lifestyle, which is just to accept the story. But history is the lie agreed upon. So the more you begin to realize that the Anunnaki could have been the ones who gave humanity religion, your leaders, all of this stuff, you're like, wow. You're like, wow. The bigger the lie, the more the lie is believed. And what's really helped me along my journey is to realize this, that it's all about freeing your mind and thinking for yourself. Right now, it's time to question. The more you question, the more answers come. What is the 10th secret the Anunnaki won't tell you? The 10th secret of the Anunnaki. You had the power all along. That's right. The Anunnaki know how powerful human beings are. And what a human being can do is a human being can create. And therefore, human beings are super powerful. For so long in this society, we have externalized our power. And what really freed me along my journey was to really begin to take my power back and to say, actually, no alien beings can control me because I am powerful. You also had some Anunnaki beings who were helping planet Earth, like Enki, EA, who wanted to free humanity from bondage. And then you had some Anunnaki beings who wanted to keep humanity asleep. And we see this being played out in today's society. Look what's happening in the world at large, in politics. In the world, there's a lot of tension. War could break out. But this story you see that is being played out right now is the story which was being played out back then. It's an old age story, which you will only really comprehend when you realize man is not alone in the universe, and there is so much we don't know about. So once again, those are the 10 secrets of the Anunnaki. Did you see one? Or maybe you are one. And if you are, you just say, "Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello?" We are all stars anyway. Anunnaki just means those who came from the heavens. We are made of stardust. I get it, Ralph. Okay, good. Have a beautiful day. We're just here. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace. You!